We are getting spooky up in this kitchen today. We're gonna make a perfect Halloween breakfast that your kids, the adults, everybody in your house are going to love these. We're making bloody gut cinnamon rolls, and the best part is all you need is 2 tubes of store-bought cinnamon rolls, a little powdered sugar, a little milk, a little red food coloring, and they look so realistic. You're absolutely gonna love these. What's up, everybody? My name is Susie Weinrich, and welcome to Mom's Dinner. Here, we help adults feel successful at dinner time and breakfast time for this recipe. So if that sounds good to you, I would love to have you hit that subscribe button and follow along. All right, you ready for bloody gut cinnamon rolls? They're very, very realistic looking. And where we're gonna start with this recipe is just 2 tubes of store-bought cinnamon rolls. Now, there's a little caveat with these cinnamon rolls. We're not just using any old cinnamon rolls. You want to make sure you get the ones that unravel. So if you've bought cinnamon rolls before and you know the brand that unravels for you, those are the ones you want to get. Because if you get the ones that are kind of just like stamped, that makes this recipe very much more difficult. So I've got 2 8-count cinnamon roll packages. So we're just going to get these opened. And while I'm opening these, I'm going to let you know you don't want to follow the cooking instructions on the cinnamon roll package because we're not going to keep them rolled up in a cinnamon roll. We're going to actually ravel them in our pan. So you don't want to follow the cooking instructions or you're going to have really dried out cinnamon rolls. Oh, I hate that part. You can also start, if you want, by spraying this just very, very lightly with a little bit of nonstick cooking spray. Now I'm going to set these up here and we're going to start with 1 cinnamon roll. You want to unravel it, and then what we're going to do is start to coil it up in the pan so that it looks like intestines. And I just like to start to do like this. Grab another one and we'll go around here, and I'll just let you kind of watch me do this as I fill the pan up. So obviously you're using 2 cans of cinnamon rolls, so I think 1 can should get you to about the halfway point in the pan. The other thing you want to remember is that the cinnamon rolls will expand just a little bit when they cook in the oven. So the more twisty and turny you can make these, the more realistic they look. All right, I've got 1 in the pan, and you can see that it's already about halfway up the pan. So then the next one's gonna fill the pan up the rest of the way. Oh my gosh, they look perfect. They are swirly and twirly and gutty and intestine-y, just what we want. And they fit perfectly in this 9x13 pan. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. Like I said before, you don't wanna go with the package instructions for the cinnamon rolls. That will be too long of a cooking time once they're unraveled like this. So we're gonna get them in the oven, and then I'm gonna show you how to make the frosting that is so red and so bloody. You're gonna love it. So you start with 1 cup of powdered sugar, and then we're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of milk. You could also use half and half. Any milk will do, even, nut milk or something like that will work here. Then this is the important part. What you want to use is a gel food coloring. Gel food coloring is way more pigmented than just your traditional kind of water-based food coloring. The water-based food coloring, to get that red that would be like blood red, you'd have to use a ton. With gel food coloring, we just need to use a couple drops to make this turn bloody red, all right? So I use this AmeriColor Super Red soft gel paste food coloring, and this is just from Amazon, and I will link that in the description box below. So just start with a little bit of that red food coloring and get to mixing it in, and then we can add more as we need. Even with just probably an eighth or a quarter of a teaspoon of that red gel, it is already super bloody. It's pretty good. I'm gonna do just a hair more. There we go. That looks so good. These baked up so soft and perfect. I put them in for about 8 minutes, and that was all they needed. They're still nice and soft and tender and not dried out, so they're gonna be perfect. We've got our red frosting here, our blood, so we're gonna go ahead and drizzle that on. And what I like to do is just get a spoonful of the frosting and then literally drizzle it on so it kind of looks like blood spilled out onto the guts. It's so gross, but it's perfect for Halloween. And you can see, look at how red that frosting is. Isn't that perfect? I've also had some people tell me that they do green frosting, and they call these zombie brains instead of bloody guts. So if you have some really little ones that might not like bloody guts, they might like zombie brains instead. That looks perfect. Now, since it's Halloween, what I like to do is take some little props. I have these little plastic spiders that I just got on Amazon. They come in like a package of, 100 or whatever, and pop those on to the cinnamon rolls so they look extra spooky for Halloween. And then usually what I do is serve this up maybe with a side of bacon and scrambled eggs, and I just pop this tray right out on the table, and everybody can kind of pull apart their own little piece, kind of like, what's it called, monkey bread. So this is gonna be such a great breakfast for your family during the Halloween season. If you make this, definitely get in the comments and let me know how your family reacted to this spooky breakfast. So of course, as always, I hope that this recipe makes you feel like a success at dinner time and at breakfast time. So I will see you next week.